Hey everyone, welcome back to Around the Emirates podcast with Sara Mousa, where I speak to guests from across the UAE about topics you want to hear about. I hope you're feeling lucky today because I have a very special guest on my show. Hello, Farid.
Hello, Sarah.
It's so good to have you on the show. So Farid is CEO of Ewings, a corporation which is actually I want to say, managing the Mahzooz lottery, right? That's kind of the
That's
functionality.
correct. Ewings is the firm behind the Mahzooz draw, the weekly draw that's been going on for quite a few years now.
That's amazing. So I want to hear all about this. I'm sure everybody wants to know how they can win. So please, Farid, tell me your story and how this came to be.
So a little bit about myself. I'm originally from East Africa, from Tanzania. I've been in the UAE for over 25 years. My family has been in Tanzania for over 100 years, and origins would be from India, from Gujarat. And after I graduated from the UK, I came to this part of the world, and my background is I'm in investment banking. I used to be in investment banking, publicly listed equities. I worked with a few banks, Credit Suisse, National Bank of Abu Dhabi, a few sheikhs' offices. And then I went into private equity. And when I was doing the private equity, one of the projects that landed on my table, just an idea, was to have weekly draws. And that's how I got attracted to this whole notion of conducting draws. Interesting thing is that we have been working for quite a few months on piecing it all together. And with my background in mathematics, I studied mathematics in my bachelor's, and then econometrics, finance as my master's. So when I came across this whole concept of participation and game design, probability and likelihood, payouts, I got attracted to it a lot. So that's how it started. We've been working on this project, and then COVID turns up. And then you hear a lot of businesses have never had anything like this before. It's a big whack. And you see a lot of established businesses, relieving staff, cutting down expenditures, people losing their jobs. Then here is Mahzooz. At that time, it was called Emirates Lotto. Our original first incarnation was Emirates Lotto, and then we went back and changed it to Mahzooz, make it more personal. Mahzooz actually means lucky in Arabic. And the first challenge there was, do you launch or do you hold back? And you let this storm, this COVID storm that had just hit us, pass. We went back to our drawing boards, and with the help of our shareholders, and they've backed us every step of the way, they gave us the guidance that let's just do it, because there's so much doom and gloom. People don't know what to do. And here is Mahzooz trying to mellow it, trying to bring hope where there is despair, trying to bring light where there is darkness. And we just don't promise. The ethos were very clear from the onset, that we just don't promise big and then lure people in. We actually have to pay out. We have to make it easy and attainable, what we do, unlike a lot of our competitors.
Right.
And that is something that we have carried on. So that is a little bit of a background of who we are, how we started, and I'm really delighted that we've now had 134 draws, weekly draws. We've created over 32 millionaires to date. And that's not mean feat in a space of slightly over 2 years. 32 millionaires to date. So that's something I'm very proud of. This is our legacy. This is our track record. We have given out actual money to the tune of 376 million dirhams. That's over $100 million. And to over 228,000 winners. So it's not just one or two. There have been winners at every tier, sometimes it's 350 dirhams, sometimes it's 5,000, 10,000, 40,000, and then you have got 10 million winners, sometimes millionaires. So we're very happy that a lot of this money, 376 million, has been given out to date to over 228,000 winners to date. We've had participants, yes, mainly from UAE, but also from the GCC, from Asia, all over the world. And right now, we have enhanced the offering. We've come up with a much bolder, better price structure. And I can assure you, and it's there for people to check, the amount of money that we pay out as a percentage of what we take in is one of the highest in the world.
Wow.
Not just in the UAE. Yes, the top price ever paid out, not just promised, ever paid out in the Middle East, 50 million dirhams, is that of Mahzooz.
Wow.
So we're absolutely delighted to have been part of this success story. We've got an amazing team here. People are passionate. You can see when there's a winner, the Monday at the office, everybody's buzzing, everybody's walking on air because we've had a huge winner and that's going to be life-changing. That's the kind of passion that we exude, but also we take in when we have winners. So that's a little bit of a flavor of what Mahzooz is all about and how we started. And we're just going from strength to strength. And now with this amazing offering, we're delighted. I mean, 20 million top price. And then we have a second tier and a third tier. We were at 10 million as our top price. Now we made that 20. In addition to that, we used to have 3 prizes of 100,000 raffle prizes. 3 prizes, 100,000 each. We've scrapped that, and we have kept 1 prize, but of $1 million. So we are going to be creating a millionaire guaranteed, because it's a raffle, every week, regardless.
Oh my God.
And that is massive. So, and we thank people like yourselves and the media and the buzz to have enabled us to be where we are.
Wow.
So that's a little bit about ourselves and Mahzooz.
That's amazing how you were able to actually have such tangible measurements of your success and your impact on the community. Like it literally changes lives, being able to actually be a winner of not like a small sum of money, right? And to know that it happens so often. And like you said, it's not like, you know, one age group or one nationality. Everyone has a chance to win. Everyone has a chance, and a lot of different types of nationalities, as you said, have actually won this as well. So kind of going back to the starting point of the company, I know that you said that it was around the time of the pandemic, and, you know, obviously people were making losses and people were, you know, being let go. What would you say has kind of been the main challenge aside from that of creating this company? And how do you, as you have said, how have you come, you know, from strength to strength from that?
So remember, people have been used to raffles earlier, and they used to, these used to happen during December time, during shopping festivals, during summertime, and they were incredibly expensive. So the first notion was to come up with something which is life-changing, which is winnable, but also doesn't cost an arm and a leg.
True.
And that, to strike the right balance, that was a challenge. To come up with something that's doesn't end up just being a lure, just being a promise. But the question was, can we make it winnable? Can we make it attainable? To the COVID situation, do you launch something when people are losing jobs? Will they participate? Will they have the purchasing power to participate
100%.
when there is doom and gloom? That was a major challenge, major decision. 3 was a bit about awareness, because we know online, and we went with the digital first approach. There are a lot of people who doubt when you come up with your price structure. People will think, is this for real? Will I win? Is this just something that's luring me? There was a credibility issue because we were pioneers in what we were doing.
Yeah.
On the app and online. So we had to overcome that. Then there is this lot of people. We just don't have a homogeneous set of people. People with different languages, people with different skill sets, people from different nationalities. So the question was, how do we address this multitude of people? I mean, we have over 180 nationalities who have
True.
participated in the region. How do you cater for their language needs, their cultural backgrounds? So there was a lot of issues and challenges, but these were challenges that we faced, we surmounted with guidance from our stakeholders. We overcome them, and now there's a lot of credibility lying with Mahzooz, because the moment you mention Mahzooz, people feel very confident about Mahzooz because the track record is there for people. The question was, how are we impacting the community at large? So we had to make sure that the CSR angle was very robust, very at grassroots levels. So our CSR should not be just ribbon cutting ceremonies. It should be impact, it should be measurable, it should be with credible institutions, it should respect the laws of the land when it comes to giving CSR support. So we created a specialist department for that. There was an area that we had to make sure that people's queries and questions are answered on time. The winners get their winnings in the quickest time possible. That was without much paperwork and chasing and follow-ups. And we've managed to achieve that. And this is why you see Mahzooz being heralded in the manner it is. It's been a super effort by staff, by our stakeholders, the media, and it just feeds off each other. So there were challenges, no doubts. I mean, you might recall when we started Emirates Draw, we did have a sabbatical for about 3 to 4 months because the response was so much that our software could not take the loads. So we went back, we rehashed it, we changed the branding from Emirates Lotto to Mahzooz, to make it more personal, to give this notion of luck to people. So there were challenges, but thank God, with the team we have and the support we have, we've overcome them, and it's been an amazing success story, Mahzooz.
It really has, and I love how you have also focused on not just making an impact on the community through the company itself, through Mahzooz, through the winnings, but also just remembering that that CSR is, as you just said, not just a ribbon cutting ceremony. It's not a nice to have, it's a necessary thing to keep into consideration with corporations, especially with knowing that it's not just about making money, but it's about helping people save lives, change lives, if you have the resources to do it. Now, going back to kind of the actual experience of Mahzooz as it is now and being able to change lives for so many people, do you have any kind of funny or crazy story for me about any of these opportunities by any chance?
Yeah, I'll quickly narrate a few.
Please.
There have been quite a few actually, but a few just stand out. There was this a car washman, somebody who washes cars for a living, at some yard, and I recall our head of customer care and winners engagement, who usually does the calls, and here is a 10 million jackpot winner, 10 million top prize winner. So our head of customer care and winners engagement makes the call like she usually does. And the gentleman says, yeah, what? And from the Ewings head says, well, congratulations, you won 10 million dirhams. And the guy, surprisingly, says, yeah, that's fine. Can you call me after half an hour? I'm busy. I'm busy washing this car, and I really need to finish this. And we can talk all that later. That's fine. But right now I'm on duty and I need to finish my job. Without realizing that it's 10 million dirhams is won, and I can easily resign and enjoy this money for the rest of his life. But this gentleman, true to his work ethic, says, no, 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 that's fine. But right now I'm in the middle of my duty and I really need to finish this
Need to
job.
finish. That's incredible.
So that was quite funny for me. In the end, there was this person who had won 10 million and goes to a store with his family, and the daughter was throwing a bit of a tantrums because she wanted the father to buy her a toy. And he tried convincing to her that, hey, listen, this is not the right time, and I don't think this is a good idea, and and she just wouldn't have that. And after a bit of argy-bargy between the father and the daughter, she yells out in front of everyone and says, but daddy, you're a millionaire now. You have enough money to buy me lots of toys. Why are you buying me a toy? And this gentleman naturally gets embarrassed and quickly rushes out of the store. He then narrated this, but that was quite funny that people winning and yet they exercising control. But the little kid says, "Hey, listen, now our lives have changed, and so when I say I need a toy, I really mean it. I need the toy, and you can well afford it." So I thought that was quite funny. And the last one, there was one gentleman who used to work in a factory, didn't have a bank account. Actually, very innocently tells us that, to be honest, I don't know what is 10 million. I don't know how many zeros there are in 10 million. I've never thought about that kind of amount, and I don't know what that kind of amount is. And to be honest, I really don't know how many zeros there are after the one for these winnings. And he was genuine about it. It was very, and here we are saying, what a, we're like, wow, this is going to be life-changing for a person like that. So whilst you hear the stories that are life-changing, there is also a sort of some stories have a humorous spin to them, and it's incredible when you hear such episodes. There couldn't have been a better job for me, to be honest. I mean, I come from an investment banking background, as I said, and you have some wins over there, and you set targets and you achieve them. But this here is beyond that.
Wow. I mean, obviously, when you think about it, winning that much money is incredible. But to hear how it could really do something to change someone's entire journey, whether that's they have like medical bills, whether they want to pursue a continued education, and to know that just by being lucky one time is all it needs for you to be able to actually change your entire destiny. So I love the fact that you already have that as like the mandate of Mahzooz and of Ewings. And I also love the fact that you've brought out so much of that corporate social responsibility and making sure that you're not forgetting anyone. Like you said, having the mentality of like grassroots initiatives, making sure that you're considering all of these different target audiences, all of these nationalities, like you mentioned. I think that's so inspiring. And just to know that you probably have one of the most fulfilling jobs in the world, but I'm not jealous at all. So on that note, it has been an absolute pleasure speaking with you, Farid. I think it's important for us to remember that any of us could be lucky and we could all enter the, Mahzooz, and we could all just take a chance and see how things go. And on that note, I wanted to ask you, is there any kind of final word of advice you want to leave with the listeners when it comes to kind of their journeys?
Yeah, there's quite a few. The first and foremost is believe in yourself, believe in your destiny. There are no shortcuts to winning. The person, the last winner, Arlene, she had 17 dirhams in her account. Asked the husband to put another 20, so the amount is 37, of which she participated. She participated with 35 to participate in the draw. She's been playing and participating religiously for over a year, buying one solitary line every time. And her turn, her luck shines after over a year of participating. So there is no shortcuts. You've got to follow your dream. You've got to believe in that. The second thing is always participate through official channels.
Mm.
Don't feel victim to shortcuts or algorithms or promises of winning. There is no algorithm, there is no shortcuts. There is only one Mahzooz, and follow the official channels to participate in Mahzooz. And the last thing is that there might be many opportunities, any draws. Look at the track record. Look at how much is a draw paying out every week. That is very important, because there's a lot of people who make a lot of noises. Because of Mahzooz's success, there are a lot of people who will come up, and we were the first, who will come up with different kind of draws. And some of them might be credible. There's not saying that we are the only ones. But when you are using your money, use it wisely, use it in things that are credible, that are attainable. Look at the track records of the people behind the draw, and also the track record of creating winners. And that is very, very important. Don't fall for some shoddy, half-cooked draws, and some of them we know for a fact do make loads of big promises, but when it comes to payout, they pay very little.
Right.
Unlike Mahzooz.
That's actually really good advice. I'm not going to lie. That's actually, it's spot on. I couldn't agree with you more. And I think that we should all try our luck and see what happens with Mahzooz, see if we're lucky.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining me on the show today. And it's been a pleasure.
Pleasure. Thank you very much for having me on the show. Thank you.
Of course. Take care. Bye.